Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Jason Hall on the Whissel Weekend Show, the co-host for the past 5 years, filling in for my good friend Kyle Whissel, and who's in the actual hot seat and on Kyle's team is Matt Huneycutt. Matt, how you doing?
Outstanding, Jason. How are you today?
Good, good. So in the last segment, we were just talking about you making that transition of serving in the Navy as a electrician, and you like to refer to it exactly as it's called, which is
Aviation electrician.
aviation electrician.
Yeah.
To a guy born and raised in San Diego, although my dad served, my brother served. Electrician's electrician to me, right? Like
A wire's a wire.
But and I'm sure there's a lot of similarities. But being on a boat, I'm certain, since this thing's floating and it's not grounded, and there's all kinds of things we could go different on that. It's definitely unique, and took some special training, and you learned a lot there. But you also got the passion and learned to buy real estate, get in, start investing yourself. You worked with a few friends on buying and flipping some of that real estate, and then you decided to get licensed and go help others. And you started with the guys and the gals that you served with. And let's talk through that. Yeah. So many people, as you mentioned, don't realize how easy it is to purchase a home, and what a smart investment, especially long-term here in San Diego, because it really is gold. Quick story, I had a chance years ago to play poker with Jerry Buss, who used to own the Lakers, and his family still owns the Lakers.
Wow. And
I asked Jerry, I said, Jerry, you guys tease me for being old. He was much older than me, right? I go, Jerry, what advice would you give me? He goes, what do you do? I go, I do home loans, real estate, so I've done for 20 years at the time. And he goes, okay. He goes, I'll tell you the simplest thing, but no one ever does it. You probably won't either. Just buy Southern California real estate and hold it. He goes, that's the reason I became a billionaire. He goes, I was a professor. They don't pay you much to be a professor in college, right? So his big thing was diversify, purchase Southern California real estate, and that literally allowed him to buy the Lakers, and him and his family now are super successful because of that, right? And I can tell you, the most basic, average, great guy just to sit down with, was very polite to everyone, didn't think he was bigger or better than anybody, even though he was a billionaire. And so just want to let people know that's from a billionaire. Buy and hold Southern California real estate. So you started reading books, Matt, and you started realizing, wow, this is a different market than North Carolina where you grew up.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And how I can help people get in. So talk me through that. What are some of the advantages that you've been able to show a lot of your friends?
Oh, well, first off, there's these guys, because they're active duty or veterans, they're entitled to a VA loan guarantee. And it's not a loan, it's a loan guarantee. It's basically being co-signed by Uncle Sam for a down payment.
Yeah.
And that's step one, Jason. That's the biggest and most important piece of this whole puzzle. I can completely understand when I sit down with families and they have to spend years saving up money for a down payment for a house. That takes a long time, and especially in today's climate where things are getting more expensive and wages are not really tracking all that well. We get that. But with a VA loan, it's a zero down loan. So if you have enough money for your closing costs, or not, we can actually work around that too. If you have enough money and credit just for the basic requirements, home inspector, appraisal, things like that, then you can get into a house if you have the right team, like the Whissel team, to help you get through that.
Yeah, and somebody like yourself, Matt, who served, who has done multiple VA loans, and there's ways to reuse your VA loan. I think a lot of guys and gals think they can only use it one time.
Huge.
And there's additional opportunities. But you hit on, hey, you don't even need to have the closing cost.
No.
Right? So typically, what do you really, you really just need to have a deposit.
Yeah.
Right?
Earnest money deposit.
Earnest money deposit, and that's typically about 1% of the sales price.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a $400,000 place, you need about $4,000 as a deposit. And a lot of our veterans, we've been able to get them the house closed. We either have the seller or the lender pay the closing cost for the veteran. They get their $4,000 back.
Boom.
And they get their keys.
That's it.
So they literally get in with no money down. One of the nice things that I do is I actually pay the appraisal. So I pay the appraisal, so they don't even need an appraisal.
And how much is that appraisal, Jason?
That's $500 to $800 for a VA appraisal. And so one of the nice things, all they have to really do is pay the inspector. And how much does an inspection cost nowadays?
Anywhere between $300 and $500, depending on the size of the house.
Right.
If you're looking at a little condo, $250.
Yeah. So $250 to $500 is all your clients have been paying to purchase a home.
Absolutely.
And you can show them how to do that. Now, one of the easiest ways to always get a hold of Kyle, this goes directly, this is a text line we set up just for our radio show. It's 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. And Kyle will put you directly in touch with Matt. Matt's the gentleman who we've got on the show, joined the team just 3 months ago.
That's right.
And although you've been in real estate, though, 3 years. Because you
Yes.
got licensed about 3 years ago, you mentioned.
Yeah, we got licensed in the beginning of 2016.
Okay.
January 2016.
So you shared in the last segment that you've helped even guys and gals who've moved on. You've sold their place and helped them get a check, $35,000+, only holding the home for a year to 3 years. And what a blessing that was.
Oh, Jason, I had a gal. She held her house here she bought a townhome down in Otay Mesa West.
Okay.
She bought that in 2015 and then wanted to upgrade and move into a larger house. And she carried over $100,000 with her to forward to her next house.
So that was the equity that she had gained in the one house in just a few short
3-year period.
$100,000, rolled that into a larger home.
Yep.
And that's huge because so many people go, well, I want this right now, Kyle and Jason and Matt. And guess what? Sometimes you just have to step back. Hey, this is what I can afford. Start here. And usually in 2 to 3 years, we could sell that, take that equity gain, as you mentioned, $100,000 for this young gal, and roll that to the home of dreams.
Absolutely. It's not about jumping to the dream home. It's about just getting in the market, getting on that conveyor belt in the first place. And once you do that, you stop the loss of money for rent, and you start building equity. And that happens all while you sleep. As long as you make that mortgage payment every month, you're just taking the money out of your right pocket and putting it in your left pocket, and time is adding to that as you go.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you and I have talked about this, multiple times, that people don't realize a mortgage payment. Let's just say your mortgage payment is $3,000, your rent's $2,500, and you go, well, it's cost me $500 extra. And we go, yes, cash flow right now, it may be costing you $500 extra, but let's think about some of the benefits. And everybody knows about the equity benefit. There is some tax benefits, although not as much now that the Trump tax plan doubled. But the biggest thing people don't realize is that you're paying down the loan, in that example, $600-700 a month. So you're paying down, let's just call it $600. You're paying down the loan $600. So true net cash flow is really only $2,400. So now it's $100 cheaper than rent, because you get that money back
Exactly.
when you pay off that loan. Whether you sell the house, refinance the house, that is money that is savings directly into your account, tax-free.
It's either you're going to go ahead and give away $2,500, or you're going to give yourself $3,000.
It's really a no-brainer. I mean, we're sitting here looking at each other going,
why doesn't everybody do this?
But you've lived it. I've lived it. I've done this nearly 30 years. I've helped tons of people make money, the average person. And that's what's so great about Southern California real estate. The average person right now in your car, listen to us on Facebook, can literally purchase a home, and you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in the years ahead that you probably couldn't get any other way, unless you win the lotto, unless, some Aunt Mary that we don't know about was rich and left us, in the will. I mean, that rarely happens, but it happens all the time that we have clients and friends that we help invest in Southern California real estate and churn a profit.
Absolutely. And Jason, when I was in the military, there's a collateral duty that we have inside the commands where you can have consultations with these junior guys about their finances, command financial specialists. I did that for about 4 years before I got out. And every single time I sat down in those consultations, we go over the basics with these guys. Save money, manage your expenses, and invest when you can. And for these guys, a lot of them were really tight, and that extra savings that they could invest beyond their paychecks, it was tough.
Right.
But to be able to just take the rent and convert that into a savings by taking your rent and turning it into a mortgage, That's the most powerful, easiest step that we could do with these guys to put them on a path to building wealth early on. In fact, I just sold a house yesterday, Jason, to a guy. He's an E3 in the military, and he turned 21 years old during escrow. Bought his first house.
I love to hear that. That is such an amazing story that somebody so young got started, did it right. I bought my first house at 20 years old.
Boom.
So I understand it. You just have to sacrifice. You just got to get in there and do it and understand. Now, the VA loan is the best loan out there. There's nothing better than the VA loan. No money down, no mortgage insurance. We can literally pay your closing cost, the lender and or the seller. So there's alternatives to that. However, if you didn't serve, because in order to qualify for the VA loan, you must have personally served or your spouse.
Right.
Now, my dad served, my brother served. They both had VA loans. I never could have a VA loan because me and my wife did not serve. However, we do offer down payment assistant loans. So we recently helped a gal here in Mira Mesa, no money down. She put a $2,900 deposit. She got her keys and $2,900 back.
That's awesome.
Zero down. You have to make under $157,000 here in San Diego. But if you're one of those people, again, reach out to Kyle, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. We can see if you qualify for one of those down payment assistance just in case you didn't serve. But again, you're listening to the Whissel Weekend Show here on AM 1170 The Answer. Jason and Matt filling in for Kyle Whissel. We'll be right back.